Hey guys, welcome back to our 10 acre homestead right here in New Zealand. Today I'm going to give you a garden tour of our, I think it's about ½ acre of gardens, and we're going to start right here. We're going to start in the market garden. Sorry, I don't have my little minion as I did in my last garden tour. She is, she's banned from the garden, so yep, she's up top. Nah, she's just hanging out, getting out of the sun. So there's a lot to cover in here, so bear with me, this might be a long video. Right over here I have all my beefsteak tomatoes. They are getting to the end of their life, but I've still got a lot of big green ones in here. There is yellows, there is blacks, there is reds, and there is rainbow colours, but and all of the marigolds are going crazy here too, so they're helping bringing in all the pollinators and that. We have harvested quite a bit, and we've processed quite a bit and sold quite a bit, so it's been a stunning season for all of these beefsteak tomatoes. I'm very happy. They've probably got a month left, and then I'd say the cold is going to kill them. Hence I have not been tying them up anymore. I've given up on just letting them go, and we'll just get what we get out of them. Over here is our carrots, and they're definitely getting bigger and bigger. If I pull one out over here, Evelyn probably would have pulled one out, but yeah, these are very nice and tender, and we are getting a ton of them, and we've got a ton to harvest, so we have to get on to that. It's getting crazy, harvest after harvest after harvest. Beans, eggplants, corn. So our corn over here, we have been picking a bunch, but this is them right here, and if I put you guys down, I can show you what it looks like on the inside. We have not got any armyworms this year, which has been really good, although I think we might have had one, but it was only on the outside. Oops, I just broke that in half. But yeah, that's what it would have looked like. Beautifully all pollinated super well and super juicy. Anyway, I'll leave this down here for Evelyn. So the eggplants I've been picking quite a bit. Got these purple ones down here, and I've got these long purples. Pretty much every garden bed's got 2 rows of eggplants, 2 rows of beans, 2 rows of corn. It's basically like that. And I think, yeah, there might be some big black ones over here, and I think there's long black ones like over here, and there's another big black one that I've got to pick right here. And these are what the long purple ones look like. Obviously they get way bigger. Here's some bigger ones under here, some of the bigger black ones that I probably have to pick, but I've only just harvested, I think it was 2 days ago, so yeah, I'm normally harvesting every 4 days in here, and I'm probably picking, I would say, maybe 3 kgs every 4 days out of all these eggplants, which is doing pretty good. And they show no signs of dying yet, so that's good. I've still got probably a good month out of them too. And I've got eggplants in the big greenhouse too, so definitely not short of eggplants. But this method of corn, eggplants and beans, I highly recommend. It has worked for me 2 years in a row now, and although the eggplants I think maybe could have got bigger if the corn wasn't there to hide the sun a little bit, I just love this combination, and it's worked for me, so I'm definitely gonna keep doing it year on year. Maybe not do it on the same bed, move the beds around, but that's definitely what I'm going to be doing. Just this side of the eggplants and that has been cucumber. Now these cucumber have been rampant, and they're pretty much died and come back to life 3 times now, and they're just the long green ones. So you can see up here, these are them here, and they're just super juicy, so good. we've just got way too much cucumbers than we can deal with, and I'm just so grateful that this plant just keeps coming back. I mean, it's doing even good, probably because, I mean, it's doing even better because we haven't got anything planted in front of it, because normally every year I plant either beans in front of it or peppers or something like that, but we'll just let the cucumber do their thing, and it's just been awesome. So I'll just leave that down there for when Evelyn comes down. I'm sure she's just going to come down soon anyway. Over here in one of the tunnel beds, this was all corn. You probably seen in the last video, well, they were all harvested, chopped down, and the beans I'm just letting go to seed. So as soon as they dry out, I'll take their seeds from them, and then once I've taken all the seeds, this will be another bed that's going to get pretty much ripped out, tarped, and ready to go. I'm sort of just waiting for the tunnel to be done as well. So this over here is the bitter melon, and that's growing all up on the side wall here, and it's loving having the full sun. Let's see if we can find one of these bitter melon for you guys. Okay, here, this is the bitter melon. So that could get a little bit fatter, but that's pretty much what I'm after, and I'm actually not getting too much of them yet. Probably getting about, I don't know, 2 kgs a week. So I definitely could do with more there, but I'm sure the production is definitely going to kick off very soon. So this is the tunnel, and this was the bitter melon I'm talking about. This side is long beans, so the beans get like that long. You can kind of see them over here. That's a premature one. The long beans are sort of just starting to get their beans on, but you can kind of see up here, I just harvested the other day, so there's probably not too much, but a lot of them are like hiding up the top in that. Let's see if we can find you one. Okay, probably these ones here, I'd probably harvest them at that size, but they can even get bigger than that. But there's a ton almost ready in here, almost ready in there, and yeah, like heaps of them hiding up there. But yeah, that's pretty much that tunnel is bitter melon and long beans, and like in here again, this was corn, beans that I'm saving for seed. So yeah, that's the first tunnel over there. The second tunnel, I'm not saving any beans or anything over here. That's just like weeds and horn melon. The horn melon is like real spiky, and here's it here. You can see all the spikes on it. So all these little spikes, all it takes is a tiny little brush with your hands, and you got these little fine spikes in your hand. So yeah, I do not recommend planting this anywhere you want to weed, because even with gloves, it's still crazy. So in here is another 8-meter long tunnel that I built. It's all just built out of reinforcing bar, by the way, and a couple of rebars. Pretty simple tunnel. But in here I have, on this side I have lauki. So I think I'm saying that right, but that's these long cylinders, and I'll let them get just a little bit bigger than that. And some of them actually now I've let get massive, and you can actually save them to do crafts if you want, or I'm going to save them to actually save the seed for next year and maybe selling some seeds. And then on this side of the trellis is the spiky horn melon. Let's show you what the fruit looks like. Okay, these are the fruit right here. Now we're finding you just have to have a little bit of yellow on it, and we're actually picking them and eating them. I haven't tried one yet this year, but they're kind of like a pineapple-y, cucumber-y taste. But the kids really enjoy them. But there's like a ton of them almost ready. Like I'd say this one over here is definitely ready to pick. Again, watch out for all of these spikes because it's nuts, but see, that's definitely ready to eat. So let's get out of this spiky tunnel and let's get over here to the okra. This okra has done awesome this year. I'm loving it. It is so tall. Like I don't know, this up here is like about 2 meters. I can't even reach. That's how high it is. It's crazy. Soon I'm going to have to like bend the plant way over just to pick the okra. But there's been so much on here. I'm probably picking like I would say close to 8 kgs a week at the moment, and that could ramp up as long as the weather stays good. It could ramp up, but like, yeah, both of these beds are crazy. It's like a jungle in here. It's almost like my tunnels where you kind of get hidden away, and there's just so many okra. It's awesome. This is like the best year I've had for okra, and I'm loving it. So over here where all the tomatoes finished, I do have like, it's probably about 5 meters of cherry tomatoes, and these cherry tomatoes are like the black type, so if I can pick one that doesn't fall off. That's one there, and they're very nice and sweet. You can pretty much pick these all day. But we have a ton just in here, and again I've just let them grow wild. I'm not taming them anymore. Just beside them I've got another row of corn, and these are like a couple of weeks away from getting ripe. That's how big they are. And I've done that, so I've staggered them. So that's like our second stagger over by the eggplant, which is all ready to be ripped out now, but we've just been picking it as we need it for dinners and stuff like that. And I probably actually will save some of that too. I'm thinking this year, since I'm doing the beans, I'm actually going to let it dry out on the plant, and then I will take them and save them for a couple of plants, because they're getting quite expensive, corn seeds. Just behind here I have the, I think, Rambucanti or Trambuccini. You can see over here. That's it there. It's got to get a lot bigger obviously, and you can basically eat it like a zucchini small, or you can get it big and it tastes like a butternut squash, which we normally do, because then we can actually store it away. But it's going to be interesting if we can store everything away this year. I'll talk about that soon. Over here we've still got all of the corn. It just keeps going and going, and behind it is the passion fruit, and we have been getting heaps of passion fruit. Here's like one ready over here, a purple one. The kids pick all of these passion fruits and don't give me a chance to get any, so look at that golden goodness. So good, so good. I mean, I'm going to be like leaving all of these goodies around the garden. Evelyn's going to have field day, but I don't know if I'm going to leave some of this. I'll leave some. I'll leave that much for Evelyn. See if the birds don't get it first. So like I was saying, corn, passion fruit, and also we have up here bottle gourds. So these Debs grows to dry them out. You can eat them when they're small, but we mostly dry them out to eat them. There is a couple of loofah plants here as well, but they're not doing as good. And then over here we have a ton of bottle gourds as well. Some of them are getting quite big, and I planted these really late, so I'm quite glad that they've actually survived. Just below them I have chilies. So I think these are cayenne red chilies, you can see in there, so they should get a lot bigger. They've been thriving on neglect basically, because I have not been looking after them that well, but hopefully they'll be a late season crop. So yeah, we'll probably just dry them and use them for like chili powder or something like that. And then over here is where the cucumbers finished. Over there, this is all tomatoes, and there's mainly just Romas and then some small ones, which they just self-seeded, so I just let them grow, tied them up a little bit. But yeah, you can't complain with free produce, just self-seeding itself. These two beds here by the okra, they're the new beds we took out. They were big sunflowers if you looked in our last garden videos. Well, in here I have, you probably can't see because I'm trying to keep the white butterflies out of here, but there is 2 rows of broccoli in the middle, and on the outer layer there is leek. So yeah, it's more of like a winter crop that I'm doing in there. And in here I have 3 rows of carrots, a row of beetroots, a row of radishes, and 2 rows of lettuce. And the carrots have actually come up, which is cool, and they're multicolored carrots, so that's cool. The kids are going to love them. But if the lettuce and that doesn't come up, I can always plant some from the greenhouse, because in the greenhouse we have a lot of stuff ready to go into the garden. So that is pretty much our market garden. We call it a market garden, but most of the stuff is just a family garden in here. And the only thing I haven't shown you is because you're just gonna always say to me, Luke, that sandpit, that sandpit, that sandpit. Yep, I was even gonna buy some sand this weekend, but then I thought I've got to build it first. But yeah, maybe I need that motivation, just buy the sand, so I have to unload it, so I have to build it. So it's gonna happen one day, I keep saying that. We've still got the Jerusalem artichoke there, we're supposed to chop for compost, and we've still got the zucchini that just keeps coming back from death. I haven't sprayed it at all for the powdery mildew, I've just left things going. And then we've got our row of rhubarb over there too, and if you're lost, it's right beside the eggplant and corn and that. But I haven't sprayed anything in this garden. I haven't fed anything in this garden, and I haven't sprayed anything in this garden. Yeah, we're trying to keep as organic as we can, although I don't know if the compost we get from in town is fully organic, but that's alright. We're not like any certified organic, we just do what we can do. If we go over here to our original garden, our first garden we ever built, if you look back at our original videos right back at the start, probably about 5 years ago, this was the first garden we built. So all in here is all cherry tomatoes. So yeah, we've got these black and red ones all over here. If I can find one that's half alright, not rotten away. This here, it's like red and black, but that's a little bit soft. Okay, here are some better examples of them. They're like orange and like black when they're ready, and I think they're called indigo blue. Not sure why, but still inside, still quite red. But yeah, they're quite nice. They're not my favourite in here. As you can see, there's a lot of cherries over there that I have been tying up nicely, a lot of cherries in here that I've just been letting go. But I'll pick some of the cherries, all the different types, and I'll show you all what they look like. Okay, this is pretty much all of the different types. We have this yellow pear-shaped type. We have the black cherry. We have the sunrise bumblebee, so it's got like stripes on it. And then we have obviously the indigo blue. So I'm pretty sure that's the 4 types. Now let's try them all, eh? The yellow pear one, there's not much flavour there at all. It's quite not very acidic at all. The orange one, that's quite sweet. It's not bad, it's definitely better than the yellow pear. The black cherry, definitely quite flavoursome. And then obviously the indigo blue. Now the indigo blue is probably almost the sweetest one there, but I definitely am a big fan of the sunrise bumblebee. And you're probably wondering where's our red tomatoes. Well, I don't know, this year I didn't grow any. I think they're too boring. I actually want more varieties this coming year than I've got now, but I do have way too many cherry tomatoes for just us and even for selling. Like, I've got way too much, so I need more beefsteaks and I need a stagger where I'm planting stuff. So right here there won't be cherry tomatoes next year, and I'll just leave these cherries for Evelyn. She can pick them up from there. Oh, and I forgot to mention, in front of all these cherries I do have jalapenos, so they are getting a little bit of size in them, but again the plant is not thriving being next to the tomatoes because they're probably getting shaded out a bit too much, but it's all right. We're not too fussed about that. It's all learning for next year. But right next to all these cherries I have another bed of okra, and this bed of okra was planted after those other two beds, so I can't judge it as good as I can, like, to compare them. But in this bed I have planted rockmelon, as you can see down there, and we have harvested a ton of rockmelon. If you look back at our previous videos, I actually thought when I first planted the rockmelon they were dead. They were just these little tiny little plants that I planted, like three or four plants in the middle of this bed with the okra, and one day they just sprung to life and crawled, and I know we're probably getting into the 20s of how much rockmelons that we've eaten and we've still got. So yeah, it's kind of like a ground cover for the okra, but I've just noticed the other okra is thriving a lot more than this okra, and I don't know if that's because I planted these ones later, or if it's that I've only got okra in there and nothing else competing with it. So yeah, I've got to think a lot, because I was tempted next year to plant rockmelon under all of my okra beds, but I'm just going to have to think about it a bit more. Because of them being so successful by their own, I might just plant them on their own. We'll see. Nothing is for sure yet, but yeah, definitely still getting lots of okra from these okra plants, so they're not looking all bad. They're just a little bit behind. That's all that's growing in the original garden at the moment. I have got our carrot bed over there. The carrots are all gone, it's just turned into weed. So there's 3 beds. I have to give an extreme makeover, as well as this greenhouse, sometime probably in winter. I'm definitely not doing it anytime soon. So the next garden we are going to go to is our berry patch. It's not really a garden, but I kind of include it every time into it. And what's right next to our berry patch is our fig tree, and man oh man, we have been getting a lot of figs. I've been like picking like 4 or 5 a day, and Deb's actually picked quite a few to use for fig jam. But I see the birds have just started to find the figs, so definitely not good. So as we come in here, it's just strawberry madness. Like, the whole ground is almost covered in strawberry plants. We have got a gooseberry plant here, and yeah, we've got all of our currants, we've got all of our blueberries in here, which we have had like an awesome blueberry season. I'm so glad we've filled up so many bowls, but it's definitely over now. Boysenberries and that we haven't done as good, but we've still got an alright crop out of them. We definitely can't complain about it. Over here is raspberries, and I think the kids have been picking yellow raspberries at the moment. Yeah, so there's kind of like a yellow one here. They're not as sweet as red raspberries, but they're not too bad. And they'll probably come in here and pick like a handful at a time. There is some reds, but there's not many. I think we're probably going to chop all of these raspberries to the ground this year and just get an autumn crop, because I think we've got a pretty good spring crop, but yeah, we're still got to build a trellis thing for them as well and mulch them heavily, because they like acidity. This grape plant we had a ton of grapes on there, and I even got to eat some, so the kids didn't eat all of them, so I'm very thankful for that. I need to sort out behind this greenhouse, because it is getting covered in bindweed back there, and it is slowly encroaching into this garden, so it is not good. This grape plant over here. This one here, it had nice red grapes on it, and it's definitely done for the season, but like it definitely tasted like grape juice, this grape plant, so it was awesome. And we did get some black currants this year. I'm just seeing if it would have like another crop or not, but I don't think so. So yeah, it's definitely like a jungle in this berry patch. We didn't get much strawberries this year. That's one downer we had, but I'm hoping this next year we're going to get a ton, because there are so many strawberry plants, but maybe there's too many and they're competing against each other. I'm not sure. We do have white strawberries as well. I think Raven actually picked some the other day, but there is definitely none left. And over here is Theo's Cape gooseberry patch, because he loves gooseberries so much. He's got his own little patch. So stepping on to the next garden. There is a few gardens to cover here, guys, so hopefully you're patient, hopefully you're still with us. And what is cool, if you look back at our other garden video, you'll actually get to see the progress of what it looks like now compared to probably about 2 months ago. That's how long I haven't done the garden tour. Crazy. This is our Kuma patch. So now being like middle of March, it's actually probably almost ready to harvest, I'd say. So it's quite a big job, and I'm going to change this up next year. I'm probably going to plant watermelon pumpkin in this patch and make it so there's no weeds, because this was a mission to weed all the time. Luckily the Kuma has overtaken the weeds, but never again, never again. But yeah, we're going to have a ton of Kuma, and again, I don't know where we're going to store it. So over here is the family garden, and here we have picked a ton of grapes, and the grape season is just pretty much finished for us, the green grapes. So we're actually ready to I'm going to make a good nice trellis this year with the seed underneath it, but I've just noticed there's actually like a mega wasp nest up in here, so yeah, I'm gonna have to watch out for that. There's heaps of wasp nests this year, heaps of paper wasps. So this is the family garden. This is where I'm not allowed to touch. I got them a load of compost, and they've just slowly been getting stuff ready. They've actually got their tunnel here. They've got zucchini in there, and they've got some lettuce in there, and they've got like kale, and all of this sprouting broccoli, and that is all going to seed. So we could probably actually save the seed if we let this little pod dry out. We can save it, but you can actually cook up these seeds if you leave them green, so I might tell Debs that. But yeah, they're just doing like garden bed by garden bed. They're gonna like change around the layout, they reckon, and that. So yeah, but they've got actually tomatoes in here because I planted them and just forgot about them, and they've just been thriving on neglect. So there is some cherry tomatoes, there's some beefsteak, there's some more of those black, red, those indigo blue ones. They have got a random swan plant in here too. I've noticed this year we have got no monarch caterpillars, none. So the swan plants have been thriving, but it's been a bit disappointing that we haven't seen any monarch butterflies around. So yeah, hopefully next year is a better season for them. But yeah, the kids in that, this garden is just for them to learn in, so it's always going to look quite bad. It's hard for me to see it quite bad, but I've just got to take a step back and just let them weed everything and learn from their mistakes. And I can give them some advice, but I think sometimes I overpower them and take over. So Deb said I'm probably better just to leave them to it. So now we're going to step over past the bananas and over to the pumpkin patch. The kids just this morning actually put our pecker ducks, I don't know if they're still in there or not, back over under the bananas to fertilise the banana trees, and I think I see some white butts, so that's pretty cool. And we've got some bananas coming on soon, so that's even better. So stepping over the bridge over to here is our pumpkin and watermelon patch. So we do have some quite good size pumpkins, and we've got heaps of butternuts over here, lots of butternuts, lots of pumpkins, and the plants have definitely died. They got powdery mildew, and I just again just let them die. And the watermelon is almost dead, but there is still a couple around. As you seen in the last video, we were smashing watermelon and eating them with a spoon. And that was really awesome. So we're just doing that to get rid of these last watermelon before they dry out and go flowery. But yeah, it's been a half decent year for watermelon for us, and we're still learning how to grow them, because I'm still not that great at growing the watermelon. But next year we'll be growing them in a different patch, and we'll be changing around a bit, so it's going to be definitely a lot different. So the last area I've got over here is the potato patch, and this potato patch every year just does so awesome. This is actually the second time this season we've been growing potatoes in this patch. So we got like 250 kgs last time we just planted in here, and then we just planted it straight away, added some compost, planted straight away. So I think Debs and that just picked about 10 kilos just 2 days ago, and they're nice big size potatoes. So I think we're ready to like harvest in here, and I would plant more potatoes, but we're actually running out of storage to actually put all of this stuff. We've still got heaps of crates of potatoes from our last crop, so I don't know what we're going to do there yet. Obviously all of these pumpkins we're going to be bringing up in probably the next week, and I've already got told they're not going in the house, so if they go in the shed, the rats are going to get them. And we still don't have our concrete water tank ready to be able to put storage in there. So that is going to happen. That's not going to be our root cellar for this type of storage, but yeah, it's not happening just yet. So yep, it's going to definitely get crazy very soon. So that is pretty much all of the gardens in a nutshell. I'm pretty sure it is half an acre of gardens, but yeah, this has been definitely one of the best years we've had of growing vegetables, probably due to being no floods, and the weather being just amazing, and raining like once a week, and having no droughts, and still having water, so no water restrictions here. So that has been awesome, and we've just been like eating from the garden so much. It's been crazy. So yeah, so I'm sorry for that Evelyn couldn't come down and join me in this video, but I'm sure she's going to come and enjoy all the treats I've left for her all over the show. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I put up a weekly vlog. So once a week I normally put up a weekly vlog. Sometimes I get slack and I don't, sometimes I put 2 up. It's just how life is with 6 little minions running around and full-time job. It's just what happens. But yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. Look out.